Welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. Happy Wednesday wherever you are around the world. And here we have it. The Federal Reserve has decided not to cut or hike interest rates. There we have it. Another FOMC meeting and another unchanged interest rate, which of course is not sitting good with a lot of people. But it is what it is, guys. We need to look at the debt ratio as well. It's something that, a lot of people overlook. And it is a reality. We're not economists, so maybe these guys know something that we do not know in terms of really getting into the nitty-gritty stuff. But rate cut did not end up happening. Obviously, we do have a meeting coming up at the end of next month, as well as one in September. So we'll see what happens. Are we going to see the timing be perfect? Are we going to see a rate cut happening in Q3, Q4? If that happens, I think that would obviously, in terms of timing, would be great for the broader market. But if you're looking across the board right now, exactly what we discussed last night, my overall theory, and how I was kind of going back in time and taking a look at the previous FOMC meetings, you do tend to see the market actually retracing before the day of the meeting. Whether you get an unchanged or a rate cut, you still do see the market see a little bit of an uptick. And if you're looking across the board, market has seen a little bit of a bounce over the course of the last few hours, believe it or not, but the volatility is still a thing. There are some external factors that we need to keep in mind as well, and that is something that we shouldn't really be ignoring right now. But as far as XRP is concerned right now, so one thing I want to point out is, so you can see there are some coins that are in green right now, and that is something that we don't really want to be ignoring. But if you're looking at XRP, down about 1% in both Bitcoin and USD, comparative down about 1% each, price at $2.15, valuation at $126.5 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at about 2.5 billion. But before we get into any further, as always, just a quick disclaimer: anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, Hidden Road, Ripple has become a new participant in the DTCC netting system. Like I said, we're coming for the $100 trillion XRP ledger and RLUSD. So again, quite some big things to keep in mind. And on top of that, a big day for XRP, regardless of FOMC meeting not going as planned. As I have stated to you guys before, majority of the people already thought that we're not going to see a rate cut, I think it was already priced in yesterday, as we were looking at the markets. But today is a historic day, regardless, which a lot of people are going to be overlooking. You can see the first XRP spot ETF launches on the Toronto Stock Exchange. So in Canada, we have already seen an XRP spot ETF. Yes, it's not as big of a market as we have seen in the US. There's no doubts in that, but it's still showing you that other countries are coming on board for these digital assets. And just a neighboring country out here has a Solana spot ETF, and now an XRP ETF, which itself is, historic to say the least. And you can see this for yourself. I know it's not sitting with a lot of people. Why in the world are we not seeing this happening, with the SEC? Why are they not approving it? But I think, they're aware of this. They're aware of, what's happening in the neighboring country and, how they're going to move. I think this is always going to be into the consideration as well. They haven't denied anything. Yes, there has been a delay on a lot of filings. But I think, we are going to see that really become a reality sooner than a lot of people think. So, historic day regardless. I know, a lot of people that truly believe in XRP are going to be really excited about this, but there's going to be some trolls that are very not happy at the prices not exploding right now, and they just always want to just see the prices go up, and that's when they get excited. But that's not how it works, right? You need to have patience, because if it was as easy as people make it seem like, some people, obviously not all, majority of the people actually look at it from a realistic standpoint, but some people expect life-changing gains overnight and you'd be driving a Lamborghini. If it was that easy, guys, let me be quite straightforward. I've been saying this from the longest time. If that was the case, everyone would be driving Lamborghinis, Ferraris, Bugattis, whatever the case may be. But anyhow, Ripple team of experts, experience from JP Morgan, BlackRock, Apple, Google, NASA, Federal Reserve, DTCC, Department of Treasury, Microsoft, and more. And, this is, of course, board of advisors at Ripple. So, we are seeing expertise from pretty much all the big companies across the globe. And you can really see all these guys are coming in together to really, bring their expertise to really take this new tech to the masses. You can see, financial services, we got like JP Morgan, Citi, Merrill Lynch, BlackRock, Visa. You guys get the idea. Moving forward, government site updated for the Genius Act. Love to see it. So, it has been officially updated on the, a government website. You could see passed Senate with an amendment by Yi Nav, vote 6830. And you can clearly see all of that history on here as well. And moving forward, look at this. By November 2025, all financial institutions must switch to ISO 20022. So you can see holds more. So ISO 20022 standard is more transparent, holds more data, and is expected to enhance interoperability between banks. As banks prepare for this transition, planning development schedules, assigning technology resources, and securing funding, there's an opportunity to maximize the return on investment. And this is where Ripple can really shine. And the use of Ripple really becomes a reality because, of course, remember, XRP Ledger is ISO compliant. And is this really when you're going to see financial industry really using that? We can't write that off at this point. Of course, only time is going to tell, but all these puzzle pieces are starting to align together. But moving forward, look at this. So we already spoke about that. I want to talk about the Bitcoin dominance here. You guys can see this for yourself. Dominance is skyrocketing right now. Once again, went up to 65.4%, and we are pretty much on the verge of heading towards our yearly high at 65.35%. If you're looking at BTC, on the other hand, Bitcoin actually did see a little bit of a retracement since yesterday. We did go up to $105,485. Since the FOMC meeting has come to an end, we did see a little bit of a retracement, but we'll see what happens. You really want to see where the price of Bitcoin closes the daily candle today. I would love to see the price of Bitcoin pushing up to the $106,000. Very important level, as we know. If it's able to get back above there, I do believe the market will follow. If you're looking at XRP right now, still ranging within the 38.2. Let's take a look at it on an hourly perspective to see what's happening. So if you're looking at XRP on an hourly perspective, you can see this for yourself. We came down to that $2.12. We do have significant amount of support around here, but we should be prepared for this $2.07 retest to happen once again based off what we're looking at. If we don't hold around the support, we could get down to that range once again, depending on what the dominance does. And right now, the dominance is showing quite a bit of strength. It's picking up, which again is something that we shouldn't really be ignoring. Keep a very close eye on Bitcoin. Obviously, we still have a lot of time left till the daily candle closes. So we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.